Douglas Allen Bickford. It is the 21st of September 2021 at 8:47 a.m. here Pacific Standard Time, broadcasting live out of my 105-year-old house here in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which is my hometown. I graduated here in 1974, so it makes me the big 666. I take that back. It makes me 66. I don't want to add another 6 to that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I am a self-taught psychiatrist, okay? You do not have to have a college degree to learn something. The only reason you need a college degree is so you can go get hired by some company because they require that college degree so they can pay you, because then it makes you qualified to get their job, right? So I taught myself psychiatry, so I am a psychiatrist. I'm also a therapist and a counselor, self-taught, because I got plenty of money coming in. I'm retired military. Took my Social Security at 62, so that's why I am qualified as a psychiatrist, therapist, and counselor to help you all out there. I am offering 1 hour a week therapy sessions as your psychiatrist, therapist, and counselor and friend 4 times a month. Call me 458-232-5238 to schedule your first therapy session. Absolutely free. The only thing you're going to have to pay for is this book right here called The Portable Therapist. Okay. The reason I'm doing this is because, number one, it's the right thing to do to spread my knowledge and help all of you out there, because there have been billions, I said billions with a B, folks, of people have been emotionally, sexually, or physically abused all over the planet. I mean, it's one of the sad statistics, okay? And people won't get help for it because, number one, they can't afford a psychiatrist. Because people don't have, good insurance that will pay for psychiatry. And you need a psychiatrist if you've been emotionally, sexually, physically abused. Like me, I am a victim of all 3 of those by my parents. I carried it all the way up till I was 65 years old, sitting in an old RV in Christmas Valley, Oregon, after I left my 4th toxic marriage because of my sexual, emotional, and physical abuse as a child. Okay. I learned how to heal myself, and I can also teach you how to heal yourself. That's the main reason I'm doing it, and the reason people won't ask for help is because, number one, we're being trained and taught, I call it brainwashing, that it is weakness to ask for help. So people will just stuff all that pain from all that emotional, sexual, and physical abuse. And then the other reason you won't ask me for help is because you don't think I'm qualified because I don't have a college degree. But I've learned how to heal myself, folks. I can help you as a psychiatrist, therapist, and counselor, and I cannot reiterate it enough that I am qualified to help you. Okay. And you got to know, though, when you call me, if you are serious, excuse me, if you are serious, like I am serious, okay, you're going to change if you will do the very simple concepts I tell you to do, okay? And it's going to be very, very painful. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to find out that you didn't know about yourself, okay? You have to accept that the world is full of pain, fear, and death is inevitable. And I can help you accept all of it. There's many things that you're going to learn. And that, because we're going to be going through this book one lesson at a time. She's also my trainer, Susanna McMahon, the Portable Therapist. That's the absolute only thing you're gonna have to pay for. Get this book, okay, and get this book before you ever even call me. Just call me, and not a text message. Call me on the phone, because there's plenty of people out there that are trying to take advantage of, like I'm 66, older people like me, right? Trying to get something out of me, and most of the time it's money, right? Because that's going on all over Facebook. In fact, I almost got conned by somebody calling me, okay? I mean, I actually fell for it for a couple, like a day, until I asked that person to call me. Tried calling that person. It was a woman, supposedly young, right? Anyway, she called me. It's supposedly she, but it was a guy, okay? But I could tell by the broken English there was something wrong with it. But they said they saw my number on Facebook, and they actually asked for therapy and counseling, okay? And I mean, it fooled me, and it opened my eyes, okay? So anyway, call me, physically call me on the phone if you're serious and you want help, okay? And then we can talk, and then we can schedule your first therapy session. Like I said, there has been billions that have been sexually, emotionally, and physically abused. And change is going to be very painful, so you're going to have to be honest. And the other thing, that's going to be very painful, but you also have to get very honest with me and trust me as your psychiatrist, therapist, and counselor. I'm on YouTube and Facebook for no other reason except for to help you. I'm not seeking a relationship with a woman. I'm not seeking anything from anybody. I don't want anything from you except for to help you because of your emotional, sexual, and physical abuse. Okay. That's the absolute only reason I'm here. So my number, one more time, 458-232-5238. Okay. The very first thing that you're going to have to get, and so you can heal from your emotional, sexual, and physical abuse, is this. It's called self-esteem. It's how you feel about yourself inside. It's also known as self-confidence, self-worth, self-love. Here's how you can think of what self-esteem is. Most people don't even know what the two words even mean because nobody's teaching it. I'm the absolute only one doing it, okay? On Facebook, on television. In fact, you don't hear the two words, okay? Yeah, I bring it up to people because this is what I do on YouTube and Facebook, right? And people look at me like, what are you talking about that for? And then as soon as you start talking about self-esteem and what it is, people, and then start telling people they got to get honest with themselves, to attain and maintain self-esteem, right? Then they want to cut me off, right? As soon as I tell them I've been emotionally, sexually, and physically abused, they want to change the subject because nobody will admit that they've been sexually, emotionally, and physically abused like me for 65 years because it's embarrassing. People think it's their fault. Okay. But anyway, so you're going to have to get very honest with me and trust me, like I said. The reason that self-esteem is, okay, let me stop here. So call me, like I said, and I just kind of like lost my train of thought here. Dr. Susanna Mahan wrote this book in the 1990s. It was published in 1992. She has a real degree. She has a doctorate in psychology. She also has a master's in philosophy. She's 73, lives in Madrid, Texas, with her husband. Every lesson, every chapter, every answer, a book is written in question form. I call them lessons. But everything in this book talks about how we've been trained and taught. I call it brainwashing, not to have self-esteem. She has the real degree, okay? And because the reason she went and got the real degree is so she could make money at being a psychiatrist and a therapist and a counselor. Okay. People would pay her big bucks because of her credentials. I have the same credentials as her, except for I don't have all the math and English. I don't have the college degree, the physical education that you have to get the degree. And I'm not charging you anything for the service. So I am a trained psychiatrist, therapist, and counselor. She's my trainer. Okay. I know everything she knows because she put all of her wisdom as a psychiatrist in this book. I have studied this book. This is like my 7th time going through this book, reading it and learning every time I do, just for me, every time I go through another chapter of this book, I learn more. Okay. Anyway, so she's had thousands of clients that would pay her big bucks, unlike I'm going to do for you. She had to come up with a concept because you can't have a healthy mind and you can't heal from psychological or emotional, sexual, or physical abuse and psychological abuse until you attain and maintain a thing called self-esteem. What I just told you about, right? Uh, so she had to come up with a concept to get her clients to give themselves self-esteem. Nobody can give you self-esteem except for you. Okay? It's called mirror therapy. You look at yourself in the mirror, you say 4 things. Say, I love you, I love my inner child, I'm worthy to be loved, I'm worthy to love, I am full of goodness. Those 4 things will instantaneously give you self-esteem. But to maintain that self-esteem, you have to practice it. It's like lifting weights. If you start lifting weights and you stop, you have to start over from scratch. Self-esteem is the exact same thing for the brain, okay? So you'll have to say those 4 things to yourself in the mirror every day for the rest of your life instead of criticizing yourself. I love Douglas Allen Bickford. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved. I'm worthy to love. I'm full of goodness. And if you're slender, good looking, and you got lots of money, and you and I can hook up, and then I won't have to work anymore. But you're going to have to help me do this, okay? All right? Do you understand? Can you dig what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm just kidding. But do those 4 things to yourself in the mirror, folks. And just, you're going to have to do it for the rest of your life. But the very first time you do it, you're going to have to force yourself to do it because psychological event happens in our brain. You cannot lie to yourself in the mirror. So that's why you can very easily get in front of the mirror, especially when you start getting older. Even young people do it and criticize yourself, okay? Because that's how you feel about yourself inside because of all our training. Brainwashing comes from the television, comes Facebook, all the social media now, okay? So the very first time you say that to yourself, folks, you'll have to force yourself to do it because you don't feel good about yourself because of all your training, okay? So it's going to feel very strange and awkward. You're going to have to, but get beyond it, drop all your defense mechanisms. Don't turn me off like people do because I tell them to do that. And just do it anyway. The more you say it, the more you feel it, the more you believe it. It works. It worked on me. I've been saying it more than once a day for pushing 2 years. Okay. And I'm going to continue to say it because that's why I'm so confidently spreading this message on YouTube and Facebook. Self-esteem is the absolute most important thing you can have as a human being. There's 2 reasons. Here's one. Number 1, you can't be content without it. What content means is you feel good about how, where, and what you are. Okay, it also is known as internal peace. There are 12 things that people are using to try to be content. They are self-harm, which is cutting or scratching yourself. Uh, you know, people commit suicide to try to make themselves feel better. It's a very dangerous gamble, folks, because none of us, I don't care what the religions say, know what the next step is because, we haven't been there yet. We'll know what it is when we go, okay? But the religions are using it to control us through fear, okay? Just hell is one of them, okay? Anyway, uh, all the social media, including one broadcasting here, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're all the same. People are using it to make themselves feel good because it feels good to get somebody to like what you're saying, okay? Or look at your picture on Facebook and woo, you're looking good, whether you're a man or woman. Uh, drugs, all of them, mescaline, all the illegal street drugs, and now the legal drug, which is pot, right? Not in all the states yet, but still federally illegal. But you know, pot, uh, heroin, all of it. Okay, and prescription pills that your doctors are doling out to you unnecessarily, just so the big pharmaceutical companies can make more money off you. Okay, killing you in the process. That's a huge one too. People are popping those things like crazy because their doctor says they need it, right? Anyway, uh, and the big ones that people don't realize are drugs is coffee and nicotine, right? Caffeine. Yes, your favorite beverage from Starbucks on every freaking street corner in the United States of America, right? And all the coffee shops and all the restaurants. Caffeine is a stimulant. It's a drug classified as a stimulant. It revs you up and you're using it to make yourself feel good. There's no reason to put caffeine in your body. If you like coffee, drink decaffeinated if you like the taste of it so much. I can't stand the taste of it. I've been clean and sober off of coffee since February of 21, the 10th of February 2021. And then nicotine, the exact same thing. Whether you smoke it or vape it, people think that, oh, they vape now, so because the smoke's so bad for you, that's why they came up with vaping, right? Uh, so they think they're doing themselves a favor by vaping and putting more chemicals in their freaking lungs, okay, along with the nicotine, and they're doing it to make themselves feel good because they got addicted to it. People are addicted to caffeine, that's why they can't quit drinking it, okay? Just like all the other drugs. But you're using all those things to make yourself feel good, okay? It's always a temporary fix. Alcohol, exact same thing. Beer, wine, hard liquor. You're using it for one reason. There's no reason to put alcohol in your body. Just one beer, one glass of wine. What do you need it for? You don't need it. You want the alcohol because it makes you feel better, okay? Especially on an empty stomach, one beer, even one glass of wine on an empty stomach will give you that warm, fuzzy feel, okay? Uh, Sex, exactly the same thing. Feels good to have sex. So you have more sex to get the same feel good. But it's always a temporary thing. It doesn't matter where you get it from, right? Food, exactly the same thing. You eat when you're hungry, then people get full and then overeat because it makes them feel good to eat. So then they get overweight and then they feel bad about themselves because they overate. There's a lot of that going on too. Look around, folks. Uh, Gambling, exactly same thing. You go to the casino, you go to the bar, you go play cards. However you gamble, uh, feels good while you're gambling, but that feel good always goes away. Okay, people commit suicide because you lost everything you own because of gambling. I don't care if you're gambling $20. It feels terrible when you lose, even if you lose $20. Okay. I've done all this stuff. I don't do any of it anymore. Next one is television. Turn on the boob tube, man. It feels really good to watch that stuff, right? Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Rachel Maddow, all the big ones on Fox News, all the big ones on MSNBC, you know, both sides of the spectrum, all these politicians talking. And then all the different movies they got. The Rock is out. Got a brand new one coming out October 21st or 23rd or something like that. Oh, it's all illusion, folks. That guy is not what they say he is. He's human just like you and me. He has the same feelings. He's dying just like we're dying. I mean, he can't shoot lightning bolts out of his freaking hands, okay? That's all computer generated illusion, okay? Makes you feel good to watch that stuff. All the sitcoms, and I go on and on about television. But people are making it feel themselves feel good. People become couch potatoes. People won't take care of business because they're too busy watching television. Anything is better than watching the television, okay? Washing your car is better than watching the television. At least you're getting something accomplished, right? Uh, Religion, exactly same thing. Makes you feel good to go to church, and those people tell you that, you know, you're the only one. You know, it doesn't matter which one it is: Catholic, Muslim, Mormon, Buddhist, Christian, Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist, Church of Christ, Church of God, Jehovah's Witness. It makes you feel good when those people tell you that you're blessed by God, and if you do what we tell you to do. But all of them have the same MO. They're always right, and everybody else is always wrong, and they have the secret how to get to God. Okay. Uh, so, but then you go, and then as soon as you go home and get away from all those people that believe all that, then you don't feel good anymore. You feel good while you're sitting in there doing the communion thing and the potluck thing and all that. You know, whatever one it is. Okay. The next one is material possessions. You get something new. You get something different. You get a new car. You're bragging all your family and friends about the new car. Woo! Look at my new ride. And then if you bought a new one, you gotta, even if you buy a used one, they're so expensive. You get huge payments, right? And high insurance because you financed it. And then that thing will sit in the driveway and you go, whoa, you can't even afford the payment on it. And then a lot of people lose their cars because of it. But that's why hoarders became hoarders, because they're trying to make themselves feel good by acquiring stuff, right? 100 pairs of shoes in your closets, ladies, is hoarding. I hate to tell you this. Closets and closets full of clothes and shoes and everything you can imagine that you never wear. You get overweight and then you can't wear the stuff, and you still keep it because it makes you feel good. Oh, I'm going to lose the weight, right? And all of them are all exactly the same. Okay, they're only temporary fix. Relationship, get a new relationship. Whoa, it feels good at first. And then as soon as you get used to that person and you start seeing the everyday thing, how they really are after you move in and all that, marry them, have kids, whoa. Then you divorce or separate, right? And then you'll jump in another one, you're trying to get that feel good back, right? And then, you know, it's always a temporary fix. I've had it several times, okay? Now I've been single for pushing 2 years. And I will never be in one of them relationships again because of mirror therapy. Anyway, so the very last one is money. You get some ka-ching. It feels good to get that money, right? Whoa, and it doesn't matter how much you get. Whether you save it, you save it, you blow it, you buy something cool with it. As soon as that money goes away, then the feel good goes away with the money. So then you want more money to get the feel good back. Even if you save it, folks, you know, even if you buy a house with it, the house doesn't make people happy either. Okay. If you, or, you know, the new car that you bought with it. So, but anyway, those are the 12 things that people use trying to make themselves feel good. There's absolutely only one thing that's going to make you content, make you permanently feel good. You won't be happy all the time, give you internal peace, and that is to say 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily for the rest of your life. I love you. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved, worthy to love. I am full of goodness. That is the absolute only thing that's going to give you internal peace. Okay, and make you content permanently. But like I said, you won't be happy all the time. I have it now. I have this internal peace. I'm not happy all the time. A lot of the times I am. But I have this internal peace now, okay, that I've never ever had uh, up until 65 years old because of mirror therapy. The next thing that'll happen with two that got to the reason self-esteem is the most important thing you can have as a human being. You can't love or be loved without it. So what happens is two people without self-esteem will attract each other. How to know if you have self-esteem is this. If you can very confidently say those 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily without fail, that means you have it. If you're married to somebody and both of you can say that, or if you're with another one, and both of you can say those 4 things very confidently to yourself in the mirror, that means both of you have it. If you can't, you don't have it. Okay. If you want to call me crazy for telling you that you don't have it. Uh, anyway, so what happens is you attract somebody without it. Once the good feeling goes away, you know that good feeling, all the bragging all your family and friends about these people when you first meet them, right? Once that good feeling goes away, then the relationship becomes toxic. And then all the fights and the arguments start, and the cheating on each other, drug and alcohol use, going to bars, picking up strange people to have sex with to try to make that good feeling come back, right? Uh, then you're telling all your family and friends how terrible these people are to you. After you bragged about how great they were to you. I have been through all this stuff, folks. And there's billions of you in the same boat. So those two same people, after the relationship became toxic, they will jump back in another relationship without self-esteem, and the exact same thing will happen. That's why I've been married 4 times. That's why you've been married more than once. That's why you've had many failed relationships. That's why you're in a toxic relationship right now. The other thing that will happen is people will stay in that toxic relationship forever. And that's because they're being codependent on each other for whatever reason. They can't be alone. They're afraid to leave. They don't want to be an embarrassment to all their family and friends. They don't want to be a failure. They have nowhere to go. So they'll stay in it forever. And then all the emotional, sexual, and physical abuse that those two dished out to each other and their children gets swept under the rug by all the family. And then it becomes a dysfunctional family at that point, and dysfunctional families produce more dysfunctional families down the line. Okay. And the cycle continues. The very last thing that will happen, two that got together with no self-esteem, is this. Uh, After being in so many failed marriages, so many failed relationships, they'll exit out of the romantic scene and just be alone for the rest of their lives because can't find anybody to love them, can't find anybody to love because you can't can't be loved or loved without self-esteem. So they'll use the 12 things to try to be happy. But you can't be happy. You can't have internal peace until you can't be content until you attain and maintain self-esteem. So they'll be just as miserable alone as they were in the relationship. Douglas Allen Bickford, psychiatrist, counselor, and therapist, because I'm self-taught, because you don't need a college degree to learn something, folks. Uh, has the cure. I have the fix. It worked on me. It can work on you too. The 4 things to yourself in the mirror. I love you. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved, worthy to love. I am full of goodness. Daily without fail will fix the toxic relationship. If you're all alone out there, it will give you a permanent content feeling. Uh, if you're in a toxic relationship and the other person doesn't want to change, it'll give you the strength and the courage to remove yourself from that toxic relationship so you won't have to be abused anymore. Uh, if you're in a dysfunctional family and nobody wants to change and you want to change, it'll give you the strength and the courage to remove yourself from that toxic relationship, which is a dysfunctional family, and not get abused anymore by all your family members. I'm talking about brothers, sisters, mom and dad, right? Grandma and grandpa. I've done all this stuff. I've removed myself from all dysfunctional people. I can't be around it. You'll have this strength and the courage to take care of your own needs and be able to live alone in peace, okay? Because you'll have internal peace. Then everybody involved get this book and go through the many other concepts in this book that's going to fix your unhealthy mind, give you internal peace, and then you can get a hold of me and I can be your mentor. But I can also help you. I can be your psychologist, therapist, counselor, and friend, and mentor you, okay, as you go through the process. Because, like I said, it is very painful. So, I'm going through this lesson, this book, one lesson at a time, one lesson, question, chapter. Here's that next lesson. Lesson 9, what effect does my past have on me? This can be a very controversial question. Schools of psychology differ dramatically in their treatment of the past and its influence on the individual. Perhaps the simplest answer would be as much as you want or needed to have. This answer is recognized as a gross oversimplification in some cases, and it is that simple, folks. As a truly traumatic childhood may produce significant blocks to development like I had, and I can help you get through yours too. In general, however, it is important to realize no one has had the perfect past, and that all of us have experienced dysfunctional families or homes or educations or friendships. Okay. The major difficulty with the influence of the past on our present mode of living is that the past, now listen to these words very carefully, frequently is credited with responsibility for our present dysfunctional activities and behaviors, but all too rarely does the past receive the credit for our superb behaviors and our successes. We like to acknowledge the good stuff as ours right now and blame the bad stuff on the past or someone else. However, the past is very important to what we are at this moment because it brought us to this place in time. Everything we have done, everything that has happened to us, all of our collective experiences have resulted in exactly who and what we are right now. There is absolutely nothing any of us can do to change any part of our past. It's incredible how much energy is wasted on the past, energy that cannot be used productively. If you are spending a significant amount of time living in your past, you will know so by feeling guilty, by making what if and if only statements. Then you are missing out on your life in the present. You're not living in the present and you're not doing the best you can. You are making the past your enemy and allowing it to steal your time, your life. I've learned how to do all this stuff, folks, and it's really pretty simple. You just have to start saying this stuff to yourself daily. Like I'll say, I will not live in the past in guilt. I will not live in the future in anxiety. I will live in the moment. And I say that to myself more than once every day. And I also say, I'm taking all the good that I got from my past. I am throwing away all the bad. Okay, so any bad thought that comes about bad things that happened in my past, I erase it. I just go, I'm not thinking about it. I can't do nothing about it. Why think about it? It's a waste of time. So I'll go, I'm taking the good. I'm throwing that away. And this is how I've taught myself how to heal myself. Okay. Your past, which includes every moment up to this life, up to this one, while you're reading this, is gone. It is over, untouchable, unchangeable. The best way to get out of your past and let go of any over influence it may have on you is again another paradox. Let go by honoring, stop hating, regretting, fighting, wishing for, or denying. Accept the reality of what you had and what you missed. There's no going back now. Mixed in with all the stuff, bad stuff, and everyone else past life has large quantities of this bad stuff, are some positive things. After all, you have arrived at this place in time. You survived it all. Reward yourself for surviving and honor your past for what it has taught you. If you do not like what your past has taught you, honor it anyway for teaching you what does not work. I've done all this stuff, and I still do it every day. Everything we have learned has value, if for nothing else but to help us prioritize or minimize our options. Decide to use your past for your optimum benefit. Take what you need and remember it lovingly. Be objective. Look through your baggage and pick out the good stuff. I do this every day. Pick out the good stuff. Let the rest go. And throw it in the garbage can. That's what I say. From your memory, get rid of it from your memory, your actions, your life. Quit talking about it. Quit rehashing it. What if? There's no what ifs. It's done, done, done. I left my fourth marriage. This woman hurt me tremendously. But because of that relationship, I got here right now doing what I'm doing on social media. All kinds of good stuff happened to me because of that relationship. And I throw away the bad and the hurt and all that because she hurt me tremendously. Okay. You can't do nothing about it. Okay. So you have to throw away the bad and take the good. And that's exactly what I've done. And I can teach you how to do it too. Let the rest go from your memory, your actions, your life. Do not be afraid of your past. Ask for help in working through it if this task seems overwhelming. You do not need to spend your present and your future life dealing with your past, folks. That's why I'm here for you. 458-232-5238. Call me. Literally on the phone to talk to me. I can help you. Seriously, folks. I am that serious. This isn't a joke. This is real. This book is not fiction. This book is reality. I can help you. I can mentor you. I can help you if you've been sexually, emotionally, and physically abused, folks. I can. Okay? 458-232-5238. Call me anytime, day or night. I don't want nothing from you. Okay? And then in the meantime, get this book. Say 4 things to yourself in the mirror. I love you. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved, worthy to love. I am full of goodness for the rest of your life. Get this book. Go through the many other concepts. And if you do that, you won't even need me. Okay? But I can still be your mentor, and I want to be your friend out there. Okay? I'm the absolute only one doing what I do. Okay? You all have a great Wednesday out there. I'll be talking to you tomorrow.